Instruction, golf news, equipment, travel, interviews, course profiles, and more. Your weekly fix of all things golf is about to begin. It's the Flagstick Podcast with your hosts, Jeff Potter and Scott McLeod. All right, well, welcome to the Flagstick Podcast, the snowy day Flagstick Podcast with Jeff Potter and Scott McLeod. Yeah, I know. The boo.
Snow hater.
Boo.
I am.
I'm not a snow hater, but anyway, Flagstick Podcast brought to you, get off topic, and then it'll be the end of the show. And like, oh, guess what? Didn't mention the sponsor this week. Boy, that's a good idea. Flagstick Podcast is brought to you by Srixon Golf. At Srixon, performance is more than just a number. It's a feeling, and one that starts with the forge. Introducing ZXI irons with iForge, a groundbreaking technology. Or groundbreaking achievement in shaping, pressing, and heating that's taken Srixon Field to an entirely new level. Visit Srixon.ca for more information and the full lineup of Srixon products. Of course, we do want you to be following us and supporting us on all social media channels, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Facebook. Subscribe to us on Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts, and of course the YouTube channel, our favorite place. We really do encourage you to subscribe and to the YouTube channel. Like us, click the notification bell to make sure that you never miss a single episode, especially this winter. The podcast will be important for you to maintain your sanity as a golfer. So we do encourage that. Great stuff up there all the time in the academy.
Yep.
So
and more to come. Hoping to
we're working on stuff.
Considering doing some live stuff, some Q&As, some odds and ends. So, again, it's more the time of year people have some time to actually sit and watch some of that stuff. So,
and donations are appreciated.
There you go. Always. Always.
They can come in the form of advertising is kind of what I'm getting at.
Sure, exactly. So
golf business people, if you want to reach some golfers, you might maybe give me a call. We can chat. Anyway, that's my plug. What do we want to talk about on this show, Scotty Mac? I think I'm kind of like dumbfounded.
You know what
right
we
now,
talked about before we got on here? We spent 5 minutes talking about leaves.
I know, that's sad. It really is sad. We're going to talk about leaves, and I'm going to talk about the end of the outdoor golf season. We're going to talk a little bit about that, some personal highlights, and of course we still have a lot of our spin the wheel questions left. So we're gonna dip into those on the back nine and answer a few more of them, because there's still some really good topics there that we can chit chat about. So let's get to our front nine, presented by Metcalf Golf Club. A natural setting, a pleasant challenge. What a great golf season it was. It may be over, but it is a great time to start thinking about next season and the great golf gifts for the holiday season. Black Friday sale is coming up very, very soon, and there'll be some exciting Christmas specials right around the corner on the online store. And the online store features personalized golf balls, game packages, and gift cards. So visit metcalfgolf.com for all of that. Stay in touch with golf savings.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Well, I gotta say that snowfall. I don't think any weather is really completely catches you off guard. I think it's coming, but this one was kind of weird because we knew the snow was potentially coming, but I think we kind of, because it's November, early November, we ignore it. Like, whatever, friggin' weather says it's going to snow. It's probably just going to get rain for 3 days. And guess what? No, we got hitting stick big time. Like, it's full on winter out there right now, man.
Now it's supposed to warm up a little. I don't know how it is in Ottawa. We're supposed to warm up a little.
4 days of rain next week.
Yeah, so hopefully that takes care of some bit. I don't think it's going to take the sting out. I mean, we had a lot of golf courses in our region in Eastern Ontario, Western Quebec, who were still operating and had plans to be even open into like Sunday, for an example. And there's a few actually that I've mentioned they might reopen. I don't know how they're going to do that, but we'll see. But for the most part, a lot of them sort of had a last day as Sunday, and I saw the notices go flying up on Saturday night, going, we're sorry with the weather, we're going to be closed and stuff like that. So definitely seeing some of those messages being pushed out by the golf courses as well, thanking people for the season and so forth. And we're going to actually have a post up on flagstick.com sharing a bunch of those.
Oh,
That'll
very
be
cool.
later today. So I pulled a bunch of those down from a bunch of the different golf courses or whatever to compile them in a singular spot, and kind of little kumbaya and bye bye to the end of the
Kumbaya.
season. Bye bye to the
That's
end
what
of
I
the
have to
golf
say
season.
about your
So
freaking kumbaya.
yeah, I mean,
Um,
I know you played fairly late, but I mean, I had some people pushing into, you know, again, even to Saturday, going, "Hey, do you want to play? Do you want to play?" But I don't know. I mean, it's such a short day. Weather was okay, going to be okay on Saturday, but I just didn't. I don't know, for some reason. I think it's now having the opportunity, as we've talked about last week or whatever. There's still opportunities to swing and do other things. So
I
as a
think that
result of
makes a
it,
big difference for some
yeah,
people. I think
for
it makes
some
a huge
people, for
difference
sure. Yeah,
when you've got
access to
access to
indoors,
a simulator, or
mm-hmm.
you have access like to your own simulator, or you have access to
Public one or
a
something.
public
Yeah,
one where or you're a member at an indoor facility, or
sure.
you
Yeah,
join a league, then your season's not really ending. You're still the
no,
camaraderie of the golf season, because sometimes it's not just about playing golf on a golf course.
hundred
Sometimes it's
percent.
just about the three
Seeing your
guys that you usually
friends, or
hook up with, or the group of eight. So
yeah,
now instead of going to the golf course and getting two or three tee times in a row, you go to the simulator place and you get two or three
mm,
bays.
yeah,
And then you're all hanging out and you're playing golf and you're
mm-hmm.
having some drinks and maybe some
Yep,
food, and you make, there's your 2 or 3 hours gone there.
mm-hmm.
So you still get it, so you don't really miss
Mm-hmm.
as much not being
Sure.
outside.
Yep.
For me, I mean, I have a transition of seasons when it comes to golf, where I'm
Yeah,
into
going to
hockey a lot.
hockey. Yeah,
So yeah, I'm into golf all summer. I'm also into hockey all summer too. So it's kind of a
right.
two year round things going on. So when golf season ends for me,
Yep.
I don't stress out too much about not
Mm-hmm.
being able
Getting
to
that
be
last
busy.
round
Like
in
I
there.
could, yeah,
Yeah,
like it
yeah,
was great to get the last round in last week with at
sure.
Metcalf with Brandon, and that was good. It was done. And when I came home, I took the clubs and stuffed them in the corner. Like and not saying they're not going to come out for
No,
an
no,
indoor
no.
round sometime,
Sure.
but I mean,
Yeah,
I'm also not one of these people that has to play indoor golf once a week.
yeah,
I like it; it's fun, but it's not the end of the world for me to
yeah,
like. I don't chase it.
yeah.
I don't work on my game.
And I think that's one of the
So
things too. I think you're right. It's the continuity of those relationships. And I was with a couple of coaches last night. We were doing volleyball on Monday nights, and we're getting down to cuts for our team. So we had a bunch of coaches kind of get together afterward. I think we had 6 or 7 coaches out last night. But one of the things we were talking about was golf and their rounds, and the one coach was speculating about joining a golf club next year. And, right away it was like, he was talking about where he was going to go. And the other guy was saying, you got to go where your friends are,
yeah.
and proximity is number one for most people. They want to go something that's close to home. And then second is going to be friends. So, that social aspect really lends itself to the game. And as you said, a lot of the reason a lot of people wanted to get in those last games is just because of their I don't know, their habits that they have, their
Hmm.
sort of their traditions every week or whatever. So, if they're not going to see those friends kind of over the winter time, maybe those people go away. That's the other side of it. We're talking about people putting away their clubs. There's a lot of people that basically give themselves a little bit of break before they head to other climates, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people that are heading off to, Portugal or whatever, and they're gone for a bunch of the winter. Don't hear as many going to the States. That's another topic, but going to other different locations and stuff. So for them, it's not as urgent to kind of get those last games in there. I will say some people were disappointed that maybe they didn't get their last games in because they didn't have a chance to maybe thank the staff. And,
Hmm.
and that's sort of a key thing, kind of the end of the year. I think I missed out on that a little bit too. I like to be able to, thank the staff a little bit and say hi to them and thank them for the year. But, obviously you can send emails and, gifts other ways and things like that. So, but, yeah, it was, it's still, I don't know. It takes the vibe out of the year, I think, when the
Yeah.
snow hits, because people are now talking about golf in a different way.
Hmm.
I also for me, I mean, obviously talking about, like watching golf, it's almost done. And the PGA Tour's got 2 events left, and the LPGA Tour's only got a couple events left. But, you also start to look at more of the overseas tournaments and things like that, and start to watch some of those. And I think it's time that changes too, because, the outdoor season, when a lot of these rounds of golf take up a lot of time,
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden it's like, okay, there's a different dynamic to your day now when the season changes.
Well, if we're gonna have winter, I'm kind of a have winter or don't have winter. Like this is a like
Mm,
I'm not an anti-winter guy. I like winter. I like nice mild winters with snow.
sure.
That doesn't bother me at all. I want if I'm gonna have it, I want to have it. So if I'm gonna have
Mm.
winter, give me winter. Don't give me this. Give me winter for a week, and
Sleet,
then you get
freezing
the
rain, and
freezing
back to
rain, and it
sunny, and
rains, and
yeah,
everything gets crusty and icy, and you're driving
yeah,
like it's just
yeah,
like I hate that type of a winter. So
sure.
if you give me snow on the ground now, and we just have snow on the ground, and we get a little bit more snow and a little bit more snow, and that's what we get, a nice mild average winter with the odd super cold day, I'm cool with that. But
Good luck.
this kind of crap that we're getting here, and again, we're probably getting the same thing. We're going to get warm. It's going to warm up. It's going to
Yep.
get slushy. Then it's going to freeze. It's going to get icy. Then we're going to get rain for a few
Hmm.
days, and it's going to
Hmm.
melt a good chunk of it, and it'll probably go back to looking like
Well, the
spring
hard part,
again, and then it's
the
going to,
the
more
hard
snow.
part, that freeze melt cycle is rough too for the golf courses. People
Hmm.
should understand that, they've got them to bed, but if you look at the
Do they though?
grasses, some do, some don't.
Some do not, and
Some are
that's
probably not fully, yeah, probably some are probably not fully prepared.
I had a
So
good
they,
chat with Kevin Patterson, who's
yep,
from Emerald Links, Anderson Links, Cloverdale
yep,
Links here. He kind of oversees all the superintendents at the three courses. Who was at Mark's Work Warehouse getting some picking up some
clubs
winter
and
work
mitts.
boots for Brandon,
Yep.
and he's like they got two of the golf courses they got to bed, one they
Hmm.
didn't.
Ooh,
So now he's kind of feels like we're gonna
yeah,
get
he's
this
looking at
weather
the
next
weather,
week,
right?
and he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think we're gonna be okay there. Like
right.
it's like
Yeah.
superintendents know.
Oh, totally. They they
It's
they live it.
very little time does it surprise them completely.
No.
It might screw up their schedules a little bit,
Hmm.
but I think for the most part, they've got a pretty good idea. This one, I might have caught a bunch of them off guard because I think a bunch of them probably thought they had a couple more weeks before it was going to get really
Something was
bad.
getting permanent. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you don't know. And,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you can, as a golf course, I've seen it, you can do everything right
Oh, yeah, and
and put the
still,
golf course to bed and
yeah,
something still happens. So
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
I feel bad for that kind of a role because then you have no idea until the spring when you pull the tarps or the snow melts or whatever. And not everybody tarps. Some golf
No.
courses tarp. If they didn't get the tarps down, they
Hmm.
can still put the tarps on snow if it's mild enough. But
Hmm. It's
um,
just having all the factors that they can and can't control, and
yeah.
when they can prepare as much as possible, but when you get something that's really unusual, that is extreme, that you can't fully plan for,
Hmm.
because they have to plan for sort of the norms, because you can go nuts with preparation. It could cost a lot of money, and then all of a sudden it not be worth it as far
Yeah.
as to what you need to do. And again, I think the issue here is like, okay, do we want that grass freezing all the time? And once it's frozen and it gets under snow, it's like, okay, what's going to happen here? So
Yeah.
let's hope that it's a decent winter, treats the
Yeah.
golf courses nicely, no big surprises for the superintendents, for the industry. And then, but again, just people just understand, these are stuff that's out of their control. So
Yeah. Well, as we've always said before, take a look at your own grass and then ask
right.
yourself, is my grass perfect?
Yeah,
And then you'll understand a little bit.
definitely
Okay.
not.
So personal golf highlights.
Yeah, that's how we talk a
I
little bit
kinda
about
like this
this.
a little bit. For me personally, my personal golf highlights. I think the one thing about my golf year this year that was really exciting was, and there will be a time, trust me, those listening and watching, I'm going to release
Oh, yes, yes.
what I had been working on a little bit over the summer, very soon, and I'm just finishing up some editing work on a couple of pieces. But
Dang.
I had the opportunity to get out and kind of have a regular Friday golf day, and I
Yeah.
haven't had sort of a consistent. I'm not one that needs to play 4 times a week. Like I
No,
don't. I
but
mean,
you got to
if I
play more than 4 times a year, though.
yeah,
Like
yeah. If I
last
can
year
play
sucked
once,
for
yeah,
you.
it wasn't good. If I can play one game, one round of golf a week,
Yep.
maybe squeeze in a few nine holers or six holers across the street at Metcalf once in a while to fill out the week, then I'm pretty happy with that. So I mean, I
Hmm.
did manage to get out at least once a week. Every Friday was
Right.
Brandon's day off from work, and we kind of just made a point of going somewhere and playing
Yeah.
somewhere that hadn't gone before. We went up to Wolf Ridge,
Hmm.
played at Whitetail,
And courses
played.
you hadn't played in a while,
Yeah,
which was nice
played
too to return
Nation,
to them, right? Yep.
like yeah, it was a lot of fun to do that and just, I'm a chill golfer when it comes to my game. I don't really care a whole lot about how I play. I play well
Mm.
normally, but if I hit
Yeah.
crappy shots, I hit crappy shots. I don't really keep score. And it was just fun. It was a lot of fun to do that, and it was a
Hmm.
highlight. I know it was a highlight for his week, where I managed to arrange our game.
Yeah, for sure.
And we played some cool golf courses. I think we both wish we could have done a little bit more often, but I definitely got more golf in. And honestly, from a personal highlights, for me that was it really. Like
Mm.
squeezing in the round at Harmony Creek this year is always nice.
Yep.
That's really about it. Nothing fancy about my equipment. My equipment was exactly the same this year as it was upgraded from last year, but it was still, I still play a lot of Srixon product,
Hmm.
and they've been really good to me with equipment, and I like their stuff. So,
Yep.
so there really hasn't been anything
Did you change?
crazy.
No, you didn't change golf balls this year, did you? You were diamond.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
I don't play the diamond.
Oh, sorry.
I play the uh,
Just the regular Z Star.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I have played the Diamond a couple of times this year,
Yeah.
but yeah, just the regular
Okay.
Z Star.
I knew you played around with it a little bit or whatever. I wasn't sure if it stayed in the bag or not. So people
Yeah,
have to realize we're not playing golf all the time, so we're not looking at
no,
each other's golf bags. So
no,
I
definitely. And
actually,
when I don't
yeah, I
think how
actually
many rounds we actually played this year. Maybe one. Did we?
think
No,
zero.
come on, zero.
We didn't play a single
Wow,
round.
see,
We
that's
we
sad.
we're on the golf course. We talked about this last year. Actually, I went back and looked at a bunch of the notes and I looked at some of the podcasts and stuff like that. And that's one of the things that we talked about was, we need to play one, we need to play more, hopefully
Hmm.
play with each other. Again, it's like we're two ships passing in the night half the
A
time.
lot of
And
times that's what happens. You'll be coming
yeah,
to Ottawa, but you're coming
and
to
going to other parts of Ottawa.
yeah,
Yeah.
very very seldom ever. Hey, look, we're busy people.
Yeah.
you
So,
know.
but I mean, it's the same kind of thing. It's like getting out on a somewhat regular basis. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it's sort of in between. I'd like to play more, but I don't always like to play more. It's like I can't convince myself that I would be a person that would play every single day. I'm not sure I'm that person. I love the game, that's for
Hmm.
sure, but I don't need to sit there and grind out a game every single day or whatever. I'm like you. I was like I wanted this year to maybe play a couple more golf courses, different golf
Hmm.
courses. I mean, we
Yeah.
talked about it on the show the other week. I got back and played Glasgow Hills and Northumberland Links. Northumberland Links it was nice to get back there. It had been 24 years since we were back there.
Yeah.
Obviously, then
24 years.
I know, which is wild.
Wow.
Yeah, especially when I go back and some of the staff like Heather Cameron are still there and back there and had left the golf course I think twice and then gone back there and a hurricane in there taking out some redesign big changes, but it was nice to get back there. Two new courses I added. Ladies Golf Club of Toronto, got to go play there.
Yeah.
Shadow Montebello did a little collab with the guys from the Preferred Live, so there's actually video out of that if you want to go see it.
Hmm.
It's actually kind of neat, which has been nice and thank you to all the new followers to the Flagstick channel. Hi to all you guys that have came through watching all that stuff. So it was nice to go play there because that had been I'll call it a holy grail golf course for me to go and play. So it was nice to get there, and I wish there was more of those that had kind of taken off the list for sure. But it was nice to get out those. Now I will say, talking about us being on the golf course, it was nice to have you back at the Ping Challenge
Yeah,
Cup
yeah, that was good.
this year. Just some circumstances, obviously, it makes it more difficult and challenging when you're coaching hockey and stuff like that. It's hard that time of year, the end of September, but we had a great time down at Smugglers. That was good, just to roll around, drink coffee, and hang out in the carts and do
Yes,
our
that's what it's
captaincy
all about,
stuff. So
Captain.
it's exactly it. So and like you, enjoyed some games family wise. Played with my daughter Elsa, although she played more games than me, I think. So that was nice to see.
That's
And
funny.
then so a lot of things here, but mostly the other side of it, just getting out. Watched a lot of junior golf this year, and Canadian men's amateur, having that in the region. Hopefully, we'll have some more news soon. There's some big events that are coming to the Eastern Ontario area in the next several years. I just heard about another one yesterday. So hopefully we can break that news at some point too. So nice to get out to some of those events as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, other than, like I said, for me, other than the Ping Challenge Cup was a big deal, to get down and spend a couple days down there and watch some golf and hang out and
See all the
have the,
pros, and
nice to enjoy the dinner in the evening there was kind of fun as well. So, that was good. Now it was also good to see Rory pick up his Masters victory. I mean, if you're looking at things that are beyond our control,
sure,
nice to see Rory get the Masters and complete the career Grand Slam, and then of course seeing Brooke return to the winners circle with another CPKC win. Again, doing it on Canadian soil too is even better. So it's good to see her return to that form. Hopefully, that's a sign of good things to come for her moving forward. Now, the one thing we didn't talk about is, and let's just see how much time we got. About a minute and a half here, but
sure.
You made a little bit of an equipment change, like technical equipment change, not just a product thing, but
I didn't make a product thing. I actually changed to a lighter. I mean, this is going to bore some people, but other
that's
people
fine.
might find it interesting. I went to a lighter iron shaft for the first time in 35 years. So
That's because you're getting younger.
Yes, I'm
More
getting younger,
powerful.
so just specific reasons why I did that or whatever, but it was a positive change, and I would certainly say for my game in general, it made a big difference. I'm a sucky iron player, and that helped my performance on the iron side of it, and definitely racked up maybe a few more birdies this year, which was nice. So
There you go. I must be precise with the iron strikes.
very good. Yes. See, that's Jeff's advantage over me all the time. I hit it far. He hits his irons like lasers. So
I do tend to hit them fairly decently.
yes.
I wish it made more birdies, but I don't, and I don't care. Okay, we're gonna get
All
out,
right.
and when we come back on the back nine, we're gonna pick up where we left off the last couple of episodes with the spin the wheel questions. Although we're not spinning a wheel, we're still gonna be answering the questions. So stay with us. You're listening and watching the Flagstick podcast with Jeff Botter and Scott McLeod in the snow.
How do you forge pure? With more pressure, more precision, more focus, more control. ZXI irons, pure forged, pure Srixon.
All right, well, we are back. I have made another coffee, took another look out the window.
Still depressed?
No, here's the thing. I look at my window, my studio, slash office slash front of my house.
It's a little different view than the studio of the old radio days.
We look out the window. A little bit. Yeah, that was a little. That one was pretty cool too, because they used to have the
market.
The
raves.
We used to do the radio show back in the day down at the CFRA studios, and it's a massive big window with the rave next door outside, and it was really kind of a cool studio. A lot different than when you did the Team 1200 shows.
Yeah, but you're
in the box.
Right?
You're in the little box. There was no
exactly.
The only window was between you and the producer on the other side of the window. The CFRA studios were much nicer. The big, huge studio with the big window. Yeah, it's a lot more fun. Well, when you're Lowell Green and
Yes,
in
Lowell Green
Madeley in the
Studio.
morning, and those guys. I mean, yeah, you got the Shribes, you got the good studio.
You got it.
All right. Anyway, we are back, and this is the back nine on the Flagstick podcast presented by Falcon Ridge Golf Club. The transition is now complete, and the indoor golf season has fully arrived at Falcon Ridge. The simulators are open 7 days a week, starting at 8 a.m. If that's not early enough for you. And shutting down around 11 p.m., though I'm pretty sure they'll stay open a little later if your game's running long. They have 4 TrackMan simulators featuring over 400 golf courses, including many PGA Tour courses, and of course they have beverages and light food available. Two things that go very hand in hand when you're golfing. To book tee times on one of the 4 TrackMan sims at Falcon Ridge, visit falconridgegolf.ca.
You got it.
All right. So picking up where we left off, we're knocking off this list. Pretty soon this list is going to be complete. But for those of you that have been living under a rock and not living to this podcast, or you've been trying to sneak in more golf in anticipation of the white stuff coming down, we a couple weeks ago started a spin the wheel question thing where we just randomly spun a wheel, picked some questions off, discussed it, and moved on. Well, of course, we never, ever get through an entire list because the lists are long. But we thought, hey, a lot of good stuff on that list, so let's keep it going. So last week, we just randomly picked some questions off that list and answered them. And guess what? Doing it again.
Yeah.
Now, you could look at that as being we want to get this information out to you, or you could look at that as us being just too damn lazy to come up with another idea for the podcast. It's like, hey, let's just roll it back again. So we'll leave that up to you to decide which one we're doing.
Which one that is. So yeah,
whatever it is. So let's get at it, man. Let's get at it. Let's answer some more questions.
All right. Dealing with sand. Is it better? You love sand. Jeff hates sand, by the way. And we have video footage of Jeff all around North America making some fun attempts to play in sand. So is it better to actively try to avoid bunkers or to become proficient at hitting out?
Just avoid them. Honestly. Again, going back to the why we're doing these questions in the back half of the podcast, is it because we are lazy or like, I mean, here, God's honest truth. If you want to be good at the game, you got to get proficient at all aspects of the game. So I think the best thing to do is to go drop some balls in a sand trap at a golf course somewhere and work on it until it's a spot you're comfortable being in, and then you don't have to worry about it. I am not comfortable hitting out of greenside bunkers. Fairway bunkers, I'm fine. I don't know what happened to my golf game over the years because I used to be a very good bunker player.
Yeah.
And then somewhere along the line, I just started doing weird things in the bunker, and I tend not to chunk balls out of the bunker very much, but I blade them a lot. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure if I worked at it a little bit, I would stop, but I don't, and I haven't, and I just dread.
So he's not listening to his own advice.
No, I dread being in. I hit a golf ball that looks like it's going to miss. I will hit it over the back of a green or aim way right before I take on a bunker these days.
Yeah, I would say it's twofold. I would say definitely, you don't want to be short on the skills to actually play out of bunkers. As you said, you want to have some ability to at least extract yourself. We're not saying hit the greatest shot in the universe, but at least get yourself out of bunkers. I would say, though, as far as avoiding bunkers, still do what you can. And that can be fairway bunkers or so forth. But I see a lot of times where players will line up and, they have a big wide fairway and they're, it pinches in at a spot where all of a sudden there's a big bunker complexes that face back towards them, and it's a very challenging shot, and I see them hit the shot that they normally hit that yardage like right into the bunkers. If you have opportunities to avoid them by laying up, like knowing your dispersion and knowing kind of width, I mean, I get it, we don't always have the greatest level of control, so sometimes it's out of our power. But when it comes to distance and so forth, if there's bunkers sitting at 220 and you land the ball at 220, you're either going to have to be past them or some wear short of them, try to avoid them that way. If it comes to greenside bunkers, that can vary. I mean, if it's just a shallow greenside bunker and it's fairly easy to get out of, your odds are probably okay out of that. But if you see some deep, nasty bunker, that's 7 feet high on the front side of it, definitely, if we look at overall, if you have to lay up to be short of the green to avoid that bunker, chances are you'll actually gain strokes versus
and that's kind of what we talked about with some other aspects of one of the other questions, talking about people's games. But to your point there, Scott, we're talking about sand. We're talking about two different dealing with sand. We're talking about two different things: fairway bunkers and greenside bunkers. Now, when it comes to fairway bunkers, that's course management. That's not understand. If I hit it, like you said, if I hit it 220, why am I hitting in the bunkers at 220? Why am I hitting my 220 golf club? Why am I not trying to, if the bunker's at like 210 to fly and I hit my driver 260, then why wouldn't I try to fly it, obviously. But why would I hit the club that I hit that distance as my club off the tee? That makes no sense. So that's game management. Greenside bunkers is game management as well, but it's a little different because decent golfers can get out of bunkers. They almost, you see the pros on the PGA Tour all the time. They'll actually hit it in the bunker on purpose because it's actually easier to play it out of the bunker than it is to chip it. So sort of a game management side of things here. I'm knocking my microphone off. Oh my God. See what the snow does to you? It just drives you nuts. Okay.
All right, next one. This is a big one. This is a big topic because obviously, this is the only part of the game or the only piece of equipment that we use on every single shot, but golf ball selection. Should an amateur pay 50?
I thought you were going to talk about shoes.
No. Well, yeah, you're right. They sort of, I mean, they don't have to have shoes on, but
okay, golf ball. Okay.
Should an amateur pay 50 plus for a dozen premium balls, or are mid-range golf balls sufficient? So first off, value is determined by the golfer. They determine whether that money that they're going to spend is worth it to them. So we can't judge based on that. As far as performance, that's a different story. So what's your take on this? And again, it really depends on the golfer. I mean,
I think that this
volume,
is this is really a preference thing. I think from a performance standpoint, yes, a more expensive golf ball is more likely to perform better and more consistent for you as a golfer. That said, it also depends on the golfer. I mean, if you are a 20 handicap, does chipping around the greens with a softer ball that has more spin and more control, is that better for you for chipping? I'm going to say most likely it would have an impact on the feel. Sure. Does playing an expensive ball off the tee, if you're slicing it into the trees, help you? I don't know that helps. It might in some cases make it worse because of the spin rates of some of the balls, but then that is affected by the club and the shaft, and because we all know with all this new data that we have, that the spin rate of your shot can be affected by more than just the ball.
So we can control that more off the tee. So that's why it becomes more important when you're choosing golf balls to look at what happens in your short game shots and your control and your feel with your putts and so forth. So that's the determinator if we're talking totally about performance. Because again, some people, I mean, God, a lot of people that I know, I mean, they go through so many golf balls and they play golf for fun. They don't really grind over their scores. So for them, it's just volume. They just buy whatever's cheap and whatever there's a lot of.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. Why? Yeah. That's why the same manufacturers that make the $50, $60, $70 golf ball make the $30 golf
other
ball
options, totally,
because they know that there are people out there that are donating balls to ponds and trees that aren't going to spend $65 on a dozen balls. Now, for me personally, I am we'll say I'm a 2 to 6 handicap. And the reason I say is I don't play enough golf to to make my handicap change as much as someone who plays 60 rounds a year. So I can be anywhere from a 2 to 6. I have played everything, and I don't shoot any different. And I don't find a massive difference in the feel of one ball, like of the high end balls. And I will be honest, I generally only play the higher end balls. The ball I'm playing now is awesome. I love it. But I'm not going to say that the ball I'm playing now, that if I went and played one of the other high end balls, that I would play any different. And I know that for a fact, because every once in a while I reach into my bag and pull out a ball that's not the Strixon ball that I'm playing now. It's a different ball, and I don't hit it any different, and it doesn't feel any different to me. So that's me. Someone else might be so dialed into what they're doing that they might feel a difference in one ball over another because they're so used to one. So the answer to the question is kind of a simpler answer than you think. It really is a personal preference and a pocketbook preference. If you were a crappy golfer and you want to spend $65 a dozen on balls all the time, go for it. Knock yourself out. If you're doing it only because you think you need to, because that's what the good players do, then you're probably naive and a little stupid. But that's your preference. If you get the money to spend on it, then spend. There's people playing thousands and thousands of dollars, spending thousands of dollars on golf clubs that could probably not play any better or any worse with a lesser expensive club, but they have the money to do it. Go and do it. Who cares?
What golfers might find is that they go through and look at some of the mid-range golf balls. I mean, there could be performance characteristics within those that are actually better for you. But again, it comes down to a personal preference. Work with a fitter, work with a pro, go through the process, try different ones. What do you prioritize? Do you prioritize feel with your putter? Do you prioritize chip shot feel? Do you prioritize spin and control on short wedge shots or partial wedge shots versus full ones? Because really, when we get down to like full wedge shots, we can create a lot of spin. Now, you'll definitely see some differences in some of the performance characteristics, but again, some of those could be suitable. Like I've sit there and hit, a very low end golf ball that's low spin and super high launch, doesn't have a lot of friction off the face. I can't get a lot of spin off that. Well, if you take a golfer that's very low speed and needs to launch the ball and doesn't need a lot of spin and just wants a nice soft feel and doesn't hit a lot of partial shots, that might be perfectly suitable to them. So again, as you said, very, very individual. If anybody is saying there's one thing, then just walk away because it's really independent on the golfer. So all right,
exactly. Okay.
Is golf an athletic sport? Debate or discuss whether modern fitness trends have redefined golf as a true athletic endeavor. First off, I think golf is more of a game than a sport. I know people will hate on me for that and think about that. You don't have to be athletic to just play the game. Do you have to be athletic to play the game at the highest levels? I will say yes to a point, certain characteristics, but we're not talking about Shane Lowry running marathons here. There's different things that players need to have from an athleticism standpoint, or to be able to function, to hit good golf shots or so forth. But so there's a lot of different ways to look at it. And I think the problem when people look at this is they look at fitness as one thing. They look at somebody as being, buff and, like I said, be able to run a marathon and whatever, and that makes a difference as far as their strength factor. I'm not saying that's 100% and you need it, because obviously if we look out there on all the professional tours, if we're talking about the top players in the world, we see lots of shapes, fitness levels, habits, all sorts of different things. Are we seeing more that are doing things to become more athletic to help their golf? Yes, but this is a really, this is a debatable one for sure. What's your input? What's your thoughts on this one? Well,
first of all, if we're talking about a game, they say the game versus a sport. We go to a hockey game,
correct?
Not a hockey sport. We go to a baseball game. We go to a football game. They're all games. Golf is a game. And to me, golf is a game and a sport. It's a game for us. It's a game for for us that go out 4 or 5 times a week and play casual golf,
Correct.
and we're not in competition.
Yeah, so I should have said for most people, it's a game.
It's a sport for those that make a living at it or are trying to make a living at it, whether it's, collegiately get to the next level kind of thing. Now, is it an athletic sport? Well, I would argue that in some cases, baseball is not a very athletic sport either, but it is. You look at some of the people playing baseball, they have designated skill sets that don't require them to be in shape. I mean, Vladimir Guerrero is probably one of the, if not the best hitter in baseball, and he athletic. Like as far as I've see him play his position at first place, he's not just a designated hitter. Sure. And the guy does not look to be in very good shape, but he probably is.
Yes. Yeah. That's why I say you have to define fitness by fit for the sport that they're doing. They're capable, because I've measured and looked at different athletes and seen what they're capable of, and they will have a lot of athletic deficiencies. Yeah.
But they'll also have some other athletic proficiencies.
Exactly.
If you're getting in a golf cart and driving around playing 18 holes, every day, is that being athletic? The movement of the golf swing is an athletic movement.
Sure. That's a short period of time during their game.
The movement of you driving around in a cart and getting in and out of it is not an athletic movement. That is a movement, and that is contrary to what you might think. It's not exercise.
No.
Getting in and out of the cart and walking to the green is not exercise.
And let's think about this. The average golf swing takes about 1.3 seconds.
Yeah.
So even if you're swinging 70 times and hitting 36 to 40 putts, you've just exercised, about 2 minutes.
I would say at the highest levels of golf, it is probably more of an athletic sport than it is for the casual golfer.
I would agree.
Despite whether some of them look to be in great shape or not, I think you would probably find most of them are working out on a regular basis. Yep. They're keeping themselves healthy. They're probably not eating the healthiest all the time. But when you're walking that much golf on a weekly basis, you can afford to carb up a little bit and have a slice of pizza. So, I think that's kind of like up here, yes. Down here, probably not so much.
I agree. I think there's a lot of different levels kind of within that, and trying to say it's one or the other is kind of missing the nuances of the conversation. So,
okay.
All right. Divot repair responsibility. I know where we're going to land on this one, but should the burden of repairing all divots, and I assume this has to do with not only divots, but ball marks as well, fall to the golfer or the course maintenance staff?
Well, this is an interesting one. When it comes to ball marks on the green, pitch marks on the green, to me, 100%, the cleanup of that might be the maintenance staff, but the responsibility of that should lie with the golfer who made the pitch mark in the first place. Because let me be honest with you here. The only reason there are pitch marks all over the green, there's two reasons why there's a lot of pitch marks on a green. When you go to play a golf course and you see pitch marks everywhere when you walk on, the only reason there's pitch marks there is, number one, the person that hit the ball on the green doesn't know how to repair one.
Correct.
Number two, the person that hit the ball on the green and left the pitch mark is too damn lazy to fix it.
The other side of it, on the other side of it too, is that we haven't educated golfers so much about those. I mean, they literally, there's people that have no understanding that the ball actually leaves a mark, believe it or not. The other side of it too is we have golfers that are hitting shots in on a low trajectory, and their golf ball ends up 15 yards beyond a green, and they forget that their ball actually hit the green, and that they have to go back and look at it.
What's the general rule of thumb, Scott? What is it? Well, what is it that we preach?
General rule of thumb.
Yeah, but isn't? You go to a golf course. There's signs all over the golf courses, in the pro shop, in the lounges. There's signs up about pitch marks. You fix one, even if it isn't yours.
Yes,
you fix one,
yes.
and so you don't have to go around the green looking for your pitch mark.
Sure, you can just fix one. Fix something. Yeah. But again, those are learned habits, right? Those are learned habits, and we've learned them. We have to make sure that we're educating golfers all over the place. They don't. I
don't know if it's the modern golfer or not. When we published the magazine, we used to publish in the magazine. We used to publish how to fix a pitch mark. And we used to do that on more than a regular occurrence.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I agree with you.
That's a core golfer, right?
I agree with you to a point that
Yeah.
there's an education level. I also feel that the golfer,
there's common sense.
I'd say that the golfer, the more modern golfer that's not competitive, like the kids that are coming up that are competitive, they tend to fix their pitch marks.
Sure,
because
but they tend to be more involved, and they're more involved with the game, right?
Yeah,
So they know.
There's the newer golfer that's kind of the older age, like maybe we'll call it maybe the 25 to 45 or the 25 to 50 category. Sure. That's the new golfer. They don't know, and a lot of them don't care, and that is kind of. You play with enough other people in your group that it's highly unlikely that all 4 people in the group don't know anything about pitch marks, but it's possible. It's a thing of laziness to me. You hit your ball on the green and you don't even try. Like you don't even like.
Well, that's where the disrespect comes when we talked about the course maintenance staff.
Golfer now. It's a different golfer.
Right, because I've had players, mention to other people, and I haven't played with some of them, so this is secondhand information where they basically said, well, the course maintenance people will get that.
Yes, to me, it's. I'm not saying that it's in a sense of entitlement, but it feels like feels like this. It's I don't know. We're in a different time now. Like it's a different type of person growing up and learn behaviors that are happening. It's different, and that translates into things like the golf course and how they treat the loud music on the cart era. It's just it's that kind of thing where you're not concerned about anybody else but yourself, and you don't care or think about how what you're doing affects anybody else but the 4 people in your group. So you're going to get me started on a completely different topic here in a second.
It's just being selfish. So
as far as divots in the fairway, I kind of feel like that should be a maintenance team thing to an extent, because you don't have the sand. Should they be sand filled? Should you be replacing the actual grass? Some golf course maintenance guys say don't put the divot back in. Some say fill it with sand. If you're not going to provide everybody with the sand to carry around with them, on like especially walking people, then the maintenance team kind of has to look after.
But again, that's for courses. If they want that to happen, they have to try and educate the golfer and say, hey, you're at this golf course. We replace divots here,
and how to do it properly, because you can see when you're filling divots with sand, if you don't do it right, then you're kind of causing more problems than it's worth. So
but again, that's education. So all right, next one here, and we'll see how many we get through here. Should professional golfers be mic'd up? Would hearing more in-round chatter, even profanity, benefit the broadcast, or is it too risky?
I don't like it. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, having them, when you pick up something from the mic with the broadcast is miking and the microphone is kind of picking up some things, then that's okay. Like around the tee and stuff where the mics are open anyway. Miking them up. I'm not even a big fan of it with other sports. Like they do it in hockey from time to time too, where they mic them up and then they pick and choose what they pull out of the mic. And like I'm like, there's certain things that the general public don't need to be privy to, and having the broadcasters be able to decide what is broadcasted and what isn't is that's putting a little too much power in the hand, and that can greatly affect, because there are things that are said
for sure,
and it's not just the things that are said that get put out there. I mean, we all know what happens is that some rogue person on the broadcast will just say, oh, that's some juicy stuff, I can probably get paid
some clicks out of that,
get some clicks out of that, and they'll anonymously release something that shouldn't get released, and then somebody's life gets ruined out of it. Like I agree. It's one thing if somebody at the golf course overhears someone say something and decides to say something about it. It's another thing when you put the power in the broadcasters, the media, to be able to have control over that.
Yeah, well, it's entertaining to a point. I think, as you said, there's some things that just don't need to
special events. Absolutely, like
sure.
The Skins
that's
game
fine.
That's coming when it comes to the Skins game with the TGL stuff, where it's made for TV, and it's that's different. But this is
not known. Well, and I know even from a from a player caddy standpoint, when you have that relationship, and I know from past of caddying for players and stuff, you're having discussions that they're private discussions.
Mm-hmm.
They're between the player and the caddy, and it's not, and you don't want to be sitting there affecting play because you're thinking about, I'm mic'd up. And it does happen. I guarantee you. I can remember being on the 18th hole at a particular tournament, and because the player I was caddying for was playing with a player that was playing well, we all of a sudden saw the parabolic dishes and the TV was around there, whatever, and it was all of a sudden you start to mind your manners and you start to not focus on what you're doing. So yeah, it changes things. So
okay, so we only got time for one more quickly.
Sure.
I want to jump to the very bottom one. I'm going to jump to the very bottom one on the list. Awesome. Playing out of turn. How widely accepted is ready golf in competitive amateur events, and should it be
codified?
Codified. I like that word, codified, everywhere. I believe that at the competitive level, no. I don't think ready golf should be unless it's directed by, if there's something going on and one player says to another player, if you're ready, go ahead.
Yes,
then that's a friend, situation. Because it's your right to play first, because how you play your shot can affect how, especially in match play, it's a big deal.
Match play is a different story.
But in competitive golf and stroke play, your right is to play before the person. But if you turn to them and say, "Are you if you're ready and you want to go ahead. I haven't quite decided." Then fine. In day-to-day golf, just average, then if you're not playing ready golf, you are wasting time.
Yes, exactly.
So this is across the board for everybody. I see this all the time. I see the everybody walk to this ball. Everybody walk to this ball. Everybody's like, dude, guys and girls and kids, if you're ready, look over, make sure that the person that you're playing with is not making a swing so that you're not disrupting them, and hit. Yeah. The pace of play will pick up a little bit every single shot when you play that way.
Yeah. I will say this. I've definitely seen more ready golf being done at the highest levels, be it provincial or national amateur tournaments. There's definitely starting to be more penalties and more realization as far as play needs to pick up. So definitely seeing players are more conscious about that and saying, just go ahead, especially in particular groups, which is great to see. I agree as well from a match play standpoint. Obviously you can't do that, but everywhere else, ready. If you're ready to go, fire away.
Give it. All right. That's it for us. There's still a couple of things on the list, but I don't think we'll carry it over to the next one. We're good. But that's it for us for this week. I hope you've enjoyed that. I know I did. Thanks to all of our sponsors, Metcalf Golf Club, Falcon Ridge Golf Club, and of course our presenting sponsor, Srixon Golf. At Srixon, performance is more than just a number. It's a feeling, and one that starts with the Forged. Introducing ZXI irons with iForged, a groundbreaking achievement in shaping, pressing, and heating that's taken Srixon to an entirely new level. ZXI irons from Srixon, how forged should feel. Visit Srixon.ca for more. Well, we do hope that you've been enjoying watching and hearing us this week. Be sure to follow us across all social media networks, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Facebook. Subscribe on Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, and Apple Podcasts. Do not forget our YouTube channel. Like us and click that notification bell. Make sure that you never miss a single episode ever. And get over to flagstick.com if you haven't been there. Amazing golf content delivered every single day. Subscribe to the Flagstick Digest newsletter to make sure that you are up to date 3 times a week, delivered free of charge to your inbox. But as always, we do appreciate you tuning in. Until next week, I am Jeff Botter.
And I'm Scott McLeod.
Remember, always go for the stick.